I recently came across this video from a guy named Makan Mostafavi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. According to his profile, he has more than 25 years of experience in real estate, private equity, media, and commercial real estate development. When I listened to what he had to say about Los Angeles, I had to stop because I could relate to it. It was like exactly what I've been thinking for a long time because I've lived in Los Angeles my entire life. I've been to the clubs. I love the nightlife, the day parties, the restaurants, the events. I love all the different things that made Los Angeles such a fun and exciting place to live. I mean, you could literally go out, enjoy yourself, meet people, drink, park your car, and still have money left over to do it again tomorrow. Now, it wasn't always cheap, but it was affordable enough that a regular person could actually participate in the city. You could live here and actually enjoy living here. But I've also watched Los Angeles change from a fantastic place to live, to work, to play, and build a life into a city you now have to calculate almost everything you do. You gotta ask yourself, where are you gonna park? How much is parking gonna cost? How much will the food cost? The drinks cost? $28? How much gas will you burn getting from place to place? And is the place even still open? And are there 10 regulations making it more difficult for that business to even survive? Will it be here next year? Everything is more expensive. Everything feels more regulated. Businesses and entertainment venues keep closing by the week. And a lot of things that used to make Los Angeles iconic, make it special, are slowly but surely disappearing. So when I heard Makan describing what Los Angeles used to feel like compared to what it feels like today, I understood exactly what he was talking about. Before we get into it, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Wolf Cage Los Angeles, and share this with somebody who remembers what Los Angeles used to be. Check this out.
Remember 25 years ago in LA, you couldn't bitch about anything. Like, you used to get a really big ass meal for $5. Gas was at like $2 a gallon. Going clubbing, drinks were like $8. Getting into a club was like $10, $15. Parking was $10, $15. Rents were like $1,000 a month. And you were making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. Like, it was actually affordable. It was a great place to live. The weather was great. And every summer we would have so many tourists coming in because it was such a wonderful place. Now it's the exact opposite. You can't afford rent, you can't afford food, you can't afford gas, you can't afford cars, you can't really afford anything. And on top of that, you got all this red tape, you got all this homeless, you got all this crime, and you got incompetent politicians pretending like everything's great. They're collecting a paycheck, they have LAPD protecting them, they've got security, they've got their money, they've got their pension from the city, and it's like a racket they got going on.
Now, before somebody runs into the comments and starts fact-checking every individual number, understand the larger point he's making. Maybe everybody wasn't earning $5,000 or $6,000 a month. Okay. Maybe everybody didn't have a $1,000 rent. Okay. But Los Angeles used to feel possible. You could work a regular job, pay your bills, go out occasionally, and still feel like you were living, not merely surviving. See, that's the difference. People have always complained that Los Angeles was expensive, but there was a time when the price came with something: opportunity, energy, nightlife, culture, entertainment, and the feeling that, despite all of its problems, living here was still worth the sacrifice. Today, many people are making more money on paper while living smaller lives, and that should tell you something.
It was a great place to live, the weather was great, and every summer we would have so many tourists coming in because it was such a wonderful place.
That is the part people miss when they reduce this entire conversation to inflation. This is not only about prices going up. Prices have gone up everywhere. The real question here is, what are Los Angeles residents receiving in return? When you pay premium prices, you expect a premium experience, right? You expect functioning streets. You expect responsive government, clean public spaces, safe neighborhoods, reliable city services. You expect the ability to enjoy your city without every ordinary activity becoming another financial calculation. Can I afford to park, or is it $50? Can I afford to eat here? Can I afford the gas to drive across town? Can I afford to live anywhere near my job? Can I afford one unexpected expense this month? Los Angeles used to sell people a dream. Now, it often feels like the city is charging residents a monthly subscription fee just to remain close to the memory of that dream. And every year, that subscription gets way more expensive. And this is something I personally watched happen. Back in the good old days, Los Angeles used to have something going on absolutely everywhere. We had clubs, we had lounges, we had restaurants, we had day parties, live events, late night spots, places where people from different parts of the city could come together and enjoy themselves. You didn't have to be rich to participate. You didn't have to plan an entire financial strategy just to spend one night out. But now so many of those places are gone. So many venues are closed or closing, restaurants disappearing or disappeared, clubs shut down, small businesses get buried underneath high rent, insurance costs, labor costs, permits, regulation, taxes, red tape. And every time another place closes, Los Angeles loses another small piece of its identity. People sometimes say that nightlife is not important. But see, the thing is, nightlife is a part of this city's culture. Restaurants are culture. Music is culture. Independent businesses are Los Angeles culture. Places where people meet, socialize, celebrate, and make memories are part of what makes living in a major city worthwhile. Otherwise, what exactly are we paying these major city prices for?
Now it's the exact opposite. You can't afford rent. You can't afford food. You can't afford gas. You can't afford cars. You can't really afford anything.
This is why telling people that the economy is doing fine does not work anymore. People do not experience the economy through a government report. No, they experience it at the grocery store, at the gas station, when the rent is due, when the insurance bill arrives, when their car needs repairs, like my car right now, when they want to take their family somewhere and realize one normal afternoon could cost several $100s. That is the real economy. You could tell somebody that wages increase, but here's the thing. When rent, food, transportation, insurance, utilities, parking, and taxes increase even faster, that person did not become wealthier. They became a high-paid poor person. That's the trap. The number on a paycheck increases, but the amount of life that paycheck can purchase keeps shrinking. Eventually, people start asking a very reasonable question. Why am I working this hard just to maintain less than I had before? There was a time when you could decide to go somewhere in Los Angeles without turning it into a major operation. Now, before you leave the house, you have to think about traffic, parking, gas, admission. You have to think about food, security, whether your car will be safe, whether the area will be safe, whether the businesses will add 20 different fees to the bill, and whether the experience will even be worth what you spent. That changes the psychology of a city. People just stop going out. They stop exploring. They stop supporting local businesses. They stay home because leaving the house has become too expensive and too frustrating. And then the city leaders wonder why businesses are struggling and while commercial areas are becoming empty. What could it be? A city cannot continually make normal life more expensive and inconvenient and then act surprised when people stop participating.
And on top of that, you got all this red tape, you got all this homeless, you got all this crime.
See, this is where the frustration becomes deeper than the money. People might tolerate higher prices if they believe the city was clearly improving, but many residents feel like they're paying more while being asked to tolerate more dysfunction. More bureaucracy, of course, more waiting, more restrictions, more fees, more public disorder, smash and grabs, all this kind of nonsense, and more explanations why nothing can be fixed. Homelessness is complicated. Yes, crime is too. Housing is too. Running a city this large has to be complicated, but it's complicated cannot become a permanent excuse for failure. At some point, leadership, these folks have to produce measurable results. I don't need another announcement, nor do you. Enough with the committees. Enough with the studies. Not another program with a wonderful sounding name. We need results because ordinary residents are not allowed to use complexity as an excuse. Guess what? Your landlord still wants his rent. The city still wants their taxes, and they're going to get it. The bank still wants the car payment. Your employer still expects you to show up to work. Everybody demands accountability from the citizen. The citizen has every right and needs to demand accountability from the government.
And you got incompetent politicians pretending like everything's great. They're collecting a paycheck. They have LAPD protecting them. They've got security. They've got their money. They've got their pension from the city. And it's like a racket they got going on.
This is probably the most powerful part of the entire video. The people that are making the decisions about your life, frequently, they don't experience the consequences of those decisions the way you do. They just don't. You have to realize they have salaries, benefits, connections, security, transportation. They have pensions. They have access to systems ordinary residents have to fight through. When the city deteriorates, guess what? Their lives remain relatively comfortable. That creates a dangerous separation between leadership and reality, the reality that we're living in. Now, I'm not saying that every public official is intentionally participating in some sort of a criminal racket, but there is a system that appears to protect itself remarkably well, even when it fails the public. I mean, programs fail, but departments somehow they remain. Budgets increase, but somehow the conditions remain. Officials leave one position and somehow they appear in another. Consultants get paid. Administrators get paid. Contractors get paid. The resident is told to be patient. That is why people feel like the system is working exactly as it is designed. It just may not be designed to work for them. The question is not whether Los Angeles was perfect 20 or 25 years ago. It wasn't. The question is whether the average working resident received more value from the city then than they receive now. Did your money go further? Did your neighborhood feel more stable? Could you enjoy the city without going into debt? Could a working person realistically build a future here? Because a city cannot survive indefinitely by replacing the working class with wealthy residents, with subsidized poverty, with people barely hanging on between the two. A healthy city needs people in the middle, folks who work, folks who raise families, folks who open businesses, people who pay taxes, and people who believe there's still a future worth investing in. When those folks begin leaving or simply stop believing, the city loses more than population. The city loses its foundation. Los Angeles still has the weather, it still has the culture, the history, and it still has incredible people. But nostalgia cannot carry a city forever. Eventually, Los Angeles has to become worth the price again. So, let me know what you think. Was Los Angeles genuinely better and more affordable 20 or 25 years ago? Did the city give residents more in return than what they paid for? Or are people simply remembering the past through rose-colored glasses? And tell me what you miss most about the old Los Angeles. Was it the nightlife, the restaurants, the affordable rent, the ability to go out without spending hundreds of dollars? Or was it simply the feeling that the city was still moving in the right direction? Leave your answer in the comments, like this video, subscribe to Wolf Cage Los Angeles, and share this with somebody who remembers what Los Angeles used to be. Because somebody has to say what the city refuses to admit. Wolf Cage out. Peace.